So if something in you has been asking for more, and let me be very clear, I'm not talking about more to do, but more out of life, a different way to live, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Midlife Architect. Tell me if you've ever felt or are currently feeling this, a moment when you realize that something in your life no longer fits. It feels like it's a single point in time, but the truth is that moment rarely is just a moment. It's actually a buildup. It's kind of like this quiet accumulation of things you've been feeling, but you haven't been able to name. It's the feeling disconnected, fatigue, the sense that you're doing everything you're supposed to do, and yet something still feels off. Life isn't really falling apart, but something deeper is asking to be seen. But you keep going. You keep showing up. You keep being a high performer. You keep meeting expectations. And for a while, that works until one day it doesn't, until what you've been sensing becomes just impossible to ignore. And what looks like a sudden realization is actually the moment you finally tell yourself the truth. And here's the thing, once you see it, you can't unsee it. It becomes very hard to pretend that you don't know that something deeper is happening. So 2 years ago, I reached that moment. It was the moment I stopped silencing what I knew and really started listening that the life I had built no longer felt aligned with who I was, and it was time to evolve. So I walked away from a 25-year career as a corporate leader and have learned a lot of lessons these past 2 years. And this podcast is for women who are beginning or maybe currently feeling the same, that same shift. And again, not because something is necessarily wrong, but because something is ready to change and evolve. And especially when women hit midlife, this isn't a time to decline, it's a season to become, a season where you start to recognize the difference between this life that you've built and the next chapter of life that you're meant to live. And for the first time, you realize that you get to design what comes next. So, on this podcast, we're going to talk about what it means to step out of autopilot and into authorship, to move from default that we've been living in to design. And it's where strength is more than physical, it's where our new evolved identity drives behavior, and where the life you're living becomes something that you choose, not something that you just continue to do out of habit. So if something in you has been asking for more, and let me be very clear, I'm not talking about more to do, but more out of life, a different way to live, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Midlife Architect.